So as we get down here close to the visitor center, about halfway down the loop, got a beautiful buck out here. See if we can get a little video of it. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. We have come over this morning to take a drive around Cades Cove.
Yep.
Been here numerous times. It's the first time we've ever been here in the fall, though. So we wanted to come and see what this place was all about in the fall. You know, we've been here in winter, we've been here in summer. So hoping we get a chance to see some wildlife over here today. I think we should. It's about 46 degrees out this morning. So nice cold morning, bright sunny blue sky, but it's pretty chilly out. So hoping we get to see some wildlife. Really looking forward to this drive. You guys stay tuned and we'll show you what we see. On our way here we saw something we've never seen before, and that was a sign that they had way out where you turn off of Weirs Valley Road onto the road that leads up into Great Smoky Mountains into Cades Cove. And it said Cades Cove opens 8 a.m. Drive times up to 4 hours. I mean, we'll see. You know, typically when we've driven this loop in the past, it's a couple hour trip usually to come over here. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed that it's not too terrible. Well, so we got here early. That's the good news. The bad news is, so did about 7 million other people, it looks like. Packed. Jam-packed. We passed the first little trailhead back there. It's jam-packed.
Yeah, it looks like all the visitors came out once today.
Yeah, definitely
all the visitors for the year.
Definitely a tremendous difference from when we've been here in the past, you know, later in the winter time.
Yeah.
But we're optimistic. We're optimistic that
It'll be worth it.
We'll still see some wildlife, so we're gonna keep looking.
There's a line of cars ahead of us as far as we can see, and a line of cars behind us as far as we can see.
Yeah.
Got a couple deer way out there. There he is. Boy, he is way out there. It's a big deer. But he is way off in the distance, big time. I'm with him. So we got a couple more deer. Man, these guys are staying off in the distance. Let's see if we can get them here. There they are. He is way up there. There's a big deer up there. Just kind of checking out everybody. There he is. Big boy up there in the bushes.
Oh, I see him.
Nice. So as we get down here close to the visitor center, about halfway down the loop, got a beautiful buck out here. See if we can get a little video of it. far the most insane amount of traffic we've ever seen in the Smoky Mountains. I mean, there are cars, this line of cars, we've been looking at it for about 2 miles now.
Yeah.
And we're just starting to get to the end of the backup. But there's still more traffic coming. This is so crazy. This is the entrance. It's just south of Gatlinburg.
Can you imagine how bad Gatlinburg is?
So we're headed out. All that traffic's headed in. Alright, so we wrapped up our ride over through Cades Cove. As you can see, the traffic was insanity. It's the craziest we've ever seen Cades Cove. So we did get to see a little bit of wildlife, but it was way off in the field. You know, I don't know if all that traffic kind of kept everything pushed back away from the roads, but you know, the deer that we saw were definitely way back off in the distance. We got a chance to visit the visitor center. We haven't been to the Cades Cove Visitor Center as many times as we've come up to Cades Cove. The first time we ever stopped in the visitor center, got Dylan his stamp for his passport book. So that was pretty cool. And you know, like I said, we did see some wildlife. We've really been hooked on Cades Cove ever since our trip a few years ago. Around this same time of year, it was a little later in the year. It was into November, but saw some of the biggest deer we've ever seen in our life. I mean, of any of our camping trips, that trip, as far as seeing some just beautiful whitetail deer, big bucks were out. We saw like 23 or 24 deer that day. Tons of big buck. It was an awesome trip. So I'm gonna throw a little footage of that in there for you guys so you can see what we're talking about, and I think you'll see why we got hooked on visiting Cades Cove every time we come to this area. As far as where we're staying at a Tennessee Valley Authority campground. It's a TVA campground on the French Broad River. We're staying in the Tailwater Campground. They have a headwater campground that's up on top of the dam, and a tailwater campground that's below the dam on the riverside.
We stayed for 3 nights in one site, and then we moved over to this site. We've been here for 2 nights. We were supposed to be at this campground for a total of 10 nights, but we've decided to change the plan.
Yeah, so the first site we were in, it was okay. It was the only site they had available. It was an ADA site. There was only one available, so we went ahead and took it for a couple nights. But it was kind of right out in front, so we moved over to site 48. At first glance, we were really excited with this site. It's kind of underneath a little tree here. It's tucked back out of the way. It's a really good site.
Well,
but
we thought it was.
We thought it was a good site. Looks like a good site. And I'll give you a walk around of it here in a few minutes. You'll see, well, it looks like a pretty nice site. But once we got backed in and got set up, saw a bunch of these. Now, I do not know what these are, but I do know they're some kind of fruit, and they're rotten all over the ground. So what does rotten fruit bring? Well, it brings gnats. Lots and lots and lots of gnats. We've had gnats inside the fifth wheel. We've got gnats outside from all this rotten fruit everywhere, all over the ground. Here's the site. It's right beside the campground manager. So, you know, fifth wheel sits back off the road. It's great. Everything looks good. Backs right up to the little wooded area, so you don't have any neighbors behind you. Then you got all these. Here's the pile of rotten ones that I kind of raked up and raked together to get them away from the fifth wheel. Try to keep some of the gnats away anyway, but man oh man, it's pretty rough. So and there's that side. So, you know, not a terrible sight. There's our tree that's dropping the fruit, so the fruit are falling from way up there.
Not to mention, there are also some of the fruit still in the tree.
Right.
And even though our RV is not directly under that tree, we could hear those things falling on the fifth wheel.
Yeah, it's under the tree just enough to where when they decide to follow the tree, they fall on top of the fifth wheel.
And if you've ever heard acorns fall on your trailer, on your RV, it's 10 times as loud as that.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been in sites where acorns would fall on top of the slide, and the acorns sound like golf balls. Well, these things sound like somebody throwing baseballs at your trailer. It's bad. And last night I was a little concerned that one might fall in just the right spot or wrong spot and go through one of our skylights, because they're falling from way up high onto the top of the fifth wheel. Not cool. I mean, I guess if we really wanted to stay here, we could probably move to another site that doesn't have these things, but the rotten fruit's all over the ground everywhere, and we've seen tons of gnats.
Yeah, even on walks we had the gnats, and then also, I don't know if you can hear the background noise, but
I'm sure you can hear it.
This isn't really very peaceful. They've had a lot of construction or something going on.
Yeah, the construction's on the other side of the river, but man, they are getting after it over there. It is loud.
So we were actually supposed to spend 10 nights at this campground and 8 nights at the other campground, but we've just decided to move on.
Yeah, I mean, we took a ride through the upper campground the other day, and it's super packed, super busy. The site we were going to be in, it's real tight. It's a pull-through site, but it's really tight with your neighbors. Just not feeling the whole. Oh, there goes one now. We just had 3 more of them fall out of the tree. Hopefully one will hit us in the head while we're sitting here. Just not really feeling that. Between that and, you know, there's such an insane amount of people over here right now. It's crazy.
Not in the campground
Not in the
specifically,
campground,
but
in the area.
Yeah.
And
It's taken so long to get anywhere.
yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, this isn't our first rodeo with being in the Seaverville, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. We understand it's a tourist area. You know, you're going to have that when you go places, but this is 10 times worse than anything we've ever seen over here. And it takes so long to get anywhere that you want to go.
And it just really takes a lot away from the experience.
Yeah. I mean, that line of traffic we showed you coming back from Cades Cove that was on the road there going down to the visitor center out of Gatlinburg over to the toward the Sugarlands Visitor Center. I mean, you know, it's only a 2-lane road, so you get hung up in that, and I mean, you're stuck. You're not turning around. You're not doing anything. You're there for however long it takes to get through the traffic. So we just don't really want to deal with all that right now.
It is a little bit of a challenge to figure last-minute places out like this, but we're putting some stuff together, and we'll bring that to you in the next video.
Yeah, I think we got kind of a tentative plan in mind, so we're getting ready to pack it up here. We're going to get on the road before one of these fruits pop us in the head while we're trying to finish up this, wrap up this video. Man, they're falling everywhere. It's crazy. So it's not a bad campground, but man, I would, as good as it looks, I would avoid this site because these rotten fruit things fall out of the tree. They're just rough. I hope you guys enjoy this footage from our trip 2 years ago from Cades Cove. Most beautiful deer we've ever seen. Huge bucks. Definitely check it out. And that's it. We'll show you guys our new plan in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys down the road. Alright, so we just left Cades Cove and took a ride over there this morning. Just a beautiful drive. So we just took our time, took a couple hours to get around it. Really enjoyed the ride around the 11-mile loop in Cades Cove, and here's some footage from that trip. Down here in Cades Cove, driving the Cades Cove loop this morning, and right away we get greeted by a beautiful buck. Just kind of wandering through the pasture this morning. 27 degrees out. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful morning out here. Thought he was looking for something. I think we found what he was looking for. big buck down